Hi, welcome to Nina in the Kitchen, where today I am making a scallopini Milanese. It's a crispy, scalloped, I'm using pork, and let's just get right into it. Now, a scallopini, there's three different names for scallopini. The French say escalope, the Italians say scallopini, and the Germans say schnitzel. And what it is a flat piece of breaded veal, chicken, turkey, pork. You can go through all of those ranges. And what you do is you want to pound it out. You want to cut it at about 1/4 inch thick, and then you pound it to about 1/8 of an inch thick. And now if you have a mallet like this, you have two sides. One has these little textured bits, and that is for heavier meats like a beef or even some cuts of pork. If you're doing a fresh pork, shoulder or something, a piece of meat that gets a lot of work, you'll want to tenderize it and hammer it down with that. This side, the smooth side, is by and large for chicken or tender cuts of pork or turkey. What I'm doing today is I'm using pork tenderloin, so it's a very, very tender cut. And I'm just cutting about 1/2 inch pieces because they're rather small. Then what you do is with each piece, I'm going to put some off to the side. You want to work under a piece of plastic. When you hit the meat, you don't hit it just straight down. You go down and strike out. So it's down and out to the side. And then you just go around the clock, if you will. So down and out, all the way around. And then that should give you a nice, even little piece of meat. And the reason for pounding meat is because it damages the connective tissue. And so it makes it tender very quickly. And you can feel with your hands if it's even. So now we've made this from a medallion of meat like this into a nice, smooth, little flat piece of meat. It's delicate, it's so tender, it's amazing. And that's why people love scallopini or schnitzel. So I'm going to pound out the rest of these and then we'll move on from there. So I'm going to move this over to a plate. And one thing I wanted to make note of is that when you pound this out, what happens, I don't know if you can see this, but there's a little water that is on the bottom of this plastic wrap. That wasn't there before. That has come from the meat. That's the juices of the meat. But just so that I don't tear it when I want to pull it off of the plate, I'm just going to put a little bit of water on the plate. Just like that. And that will just give me a nice slip so that when I want to remove that, it's not going to fight me. But you can see that's about 1/8 of an inch thick. And that's going to be a delicious little meal for somebody. I've arranged this around the plate so that I can salt it and pepper it. And now I can get it ready to go into the pan. So what I'm doing in the pan, I like the flavor of olive oil and butter. So my butter's going in, and you just need to oil the bottom of the pan. That's about 2 tablespoons of oil. And then with this butter. And then this is called the Feb setup, or it's like the abbreviation for February, F-E-B. That's how you remember it. Flour, egg, breadcrumb. Anything that you want to put into breadcrumbs and then put in the skillet, all goes into this order always. So it's flour, F, E, eggs, B, breadcrumbs, Feb. So we're gonna Feb all of these fillets. I'm putting some Parmesan cheese in the breadcrumbs. This is a dish from Milan that they're famous for, and it's just So delicious. It's a quick meal. You can eat it at room temperature. You can eat it hot. What you want to do is shake off that flour. You don't need the extra. And then into the egg, into the breadcrumb. The reason my breadcrumbs are brown is I went out and bought panko, not realizing that I was buying whole wheat panko. So now you just want to make sure that the butter and the olive oil are one. And when you put anything in a pan like this, you put it in close to you and you pull it, you push it away. That's how you stay safe. I'm going to put the rest of these in. So we have the flour, egg, breadcrumb, give it a little spank. So you put this down close to you and then lay it down away from you. Check the undersides and you're going to find that there's always a hot spot in the pan. I really like the idea of building these little trays, if you will, out of foil because my cleanup is just this easy. I told my sister about this years ago. Look what I do, you know, I figured it out, look what I do. And she said, oh, I'm too lazy to do that. So she'd rather clean. So, you know, whatever works for you. Well, these scallopini have come out. They take about a minute and a half each side. Typically, the side that goes down first is always your presentation side. That just ends up always being the prettiest looking. So you just want to know that about this. The traditional presentation for this is as follows. You just take a piece of your scallopini, put it over, this is just a bed of arugula, and then you put some shaved Parmigiano Reggiano over the top, a little drizzle of olive oil, just like that, and the freshness of a little squirt of lemon on the meat, on the vegetable, or the herb, I guess. Technically, arugula is an herb. And that's the dish. It's delicious, so beautiful. Goes together in a snap. Let me just try this for you. Get a little bit of parm. This dish is always a pleasure. It's a great meal any time of year. But I think especially in the summer, you want something a little light. It's crispy, it's tasty, really delicious. I hope you try this. Goes together like that. Great summertime or weeknight meal. My name is Nina. Thank you so much for watching. Please follow me on YouTube by subscribing. Nina in the Kitchen on Facebook and .net for the recipe. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.